Hey everybody, it's Dr. Warren Kalkstein and student Dr. Antoine Wright. Welcome back to our video series, the top 20 most common injuries and complaints with athletes. And today we're going to be talking about something that I've suffered through way too many times. And Antoine, you're a rugby player and a football player, and you've probably had quite a few yourself. And that is concussions. So you've probably heard a lot of information or media hype around concussions when it comes to the NFL, but really there's a lot of sports, and not just football, where concussions are quite prevalent. You'd be surprised in terms of some of the most common areas where an athlete can suffer a concussion might be even soccer or lacrosse or baseball, right? So there's a lot of areas, or there's a lot of different sports where the athlete is exposed to head trauma, and it's important to understand, one, what a concussion is, two, the common signs that you have had a concussion, and then three, most importantly, is what to do. What happens if you have one of these problems? So in this video, we're going to be kind of talking about that, and then we're going to talk about how we address it in our office, as well as what we tell our athletes to do when it comes to regaining that range of motion in the neck that is often lost due to the injury from a concussion. So what it is, right? So a concussion is inflammation in the brain, and there's inflammatory markers. Depending on how severe it is, the symptoms can be very varied when it comes into our office. So if an athlete has had a prior head trauma, hopefully that there is a coach, or there is a athletic trainer, or there's a medical doctor there on site to help out with that athlete in determining the best course of action. All right, so if you have an athlete coming over to you off the sidelines, I just bang my head. Or if you see it happen more often than not, and they don't want to express those concerns to you, right? And as an athlete, I understand that. I've been in that situation where I've wanted to keep it hush and take care of it myself. And honestly, it's really important that you take the adequate time off so that you can recover, because if not, the recovery time can definitely increase, as well as you won't be as healthy in the long run, right? So brain health is one of the most important things to understand as an athlete, because really it is your most vital organ. So you need to take care of it, right? Just like you take care of your muscles, you got to take care of your brain. All right, so an athlete comes over to us, they've got an injury. One, I want to determine how severe it is. And as an athlete, you should know that adequate rest and the right kind of rest is really important if you've had a concussion. So once you've had all the red flags, or you've seen that medical doctor and they've said you have had a mild TBI, or traumatic brain injury, a mild concussion, what do? One, make sure that you are getting adequate sleep at night, right? Good quality sleep. Turn those electronics off. Get a good solid 8 hours of sleep at night. Make sure that you're not spending too much time in front of bright lights like a screen or on your phone. It really helps out ease the brain in terms of those a lot of that sensory input that comes from a screen. So limit screen time. Do activities, right? So walk, engage in some type of physical activity, as long as it doesn't reproduce symptoms that you've had. So whether you start to get dizzy, whether your head starts to pound, whether there's light irritation, right? Or whether there's sound irritation, whether there's stress coming up in your neck and your upper back. If the level of activity reaches that point of symptoms, back off of it. But it's important that you still are active, because that'll help speed up the recovery, drive good blood flow to the brain, drive good activity to the brain, so that you can recover and get on with your sport, okay? So finding the right balance is really a common theme when it comes to any injury. You want to have the adequate amount of rest in the beginning, and then you want to slowly trickle in activity as you start to recover. Don't reproduce symptoms, you're most likely on the right path, okay? Reading, engaging in content that's healthy for the brain, challenging your brain with different types of puzzles or activities, and not being so passive and having all the bombardment come from a screen is a healthy thing to do. So believe it or not, reading can be helpful for that recovery process. Activity, physical activity, can be helpful for that recovery process, as long as it's not reproducing symptoms. Okay, so that's what you can do from an active rest standpoint. Then let's talk about simple stretches you can do, because with head trauma comes neck trauma in a lot of cases. So as chiropractors, or as doctors of chiropractic, when someone comes in with an injury like a concussion, we are definitely, one, diagnosing, getting any type of imaging that we need, and then finally we're assessing the neck. Okay, the neck can get have some trauma to the neck. So a lot of times there's some simple things that we can do with our patients to say, hey, just do these stretches on a regular basis 3 to 4 times a day, and this can help with a lot of that neck trauma that you experienced. Let's show them McKenzie extension for the cervical spine 1 and 2 in our office. So these are some of these rehab exercises that we do with people that have had neck trauma. So the first one is chin retraction. So if you come from that side, Liam, he's going to sit up nice and tall. He's going to imagine that my hand is coming towards his face and he wants to avoid it. He's going to tuck his chin straight back. He'll feel a little pressure build up in these joints. He's just going to touch that pressure, and then he's going to come away from it. Nice and easy, come back. Get some good range of motion in the neck there, okay? So you can kind of see Antoine. He did it right the first time. On the second time, he kind of tilted up a little bit. Go ahead and keep your chin level and then come straight back. You'll feel pressure up by the base of the skull a little bit more. We want to work those joints. Those joints get a lot of trauma and whiplash. The next one we're going to do is 2. So he's going to do the same motion. He's going to come back nice and slow. Pause. He's going to go into extension. If you notice, he didn't go back as far on this next set. And then he's going to come back down. So he's going to do 10 reps of this. He's going to come back, gently go into extension, let his head drop. Good. And then he's going to come back forward. Okay? He's going to do 10 reps of that. And then show them a simple scalene stretch, Antoine, that you can do at home to help release some tension on the neck. So one arm's going to hang off the side. The other arm's going to come up to the opposite side of the head and grab right above the ear with the fingertips. Though he's going to sit up tall, and then he's going to go ahead and gently pull his head to this side. When I say pull, he's really going to let it drop, and his weight of his arm is what's going to pull him. He's not going to actively tug on his neck. He's going to get to a gentle end range. He's going to take a breath in. We're going to do our 3 breath rule. He's going to exhale. Perfect. He's going to breathe in. He's going to exhale. Easy. This stretch feels amazing, even if you haven't had a concussion and you've got tight scalenes from sitting. Good, and go ahead and easy relax. Okay, so those 3 simple stretches that you can do to help improve the range of motion, take some tension off your neck, that can make a big impact on your recovery time with a concussion in terms of the trauma that you have in your neck, as well as some of that sensory bombardment is what we like to call it, just that irritation, right, from the stress in your neck after you have an injury like that. Getting rid of that stress can help with the symptoms that you might have, like headaches. Okay, so that's my spiel on concussions. I would also add nutrition is highly important. So getting those vital micronutrients and the right amount of macronutrients, but really just giving your body good wholesome food. So whole vegetables, whole food diet, really making sure that you get good organic produce and lots of it during that time. Good hydration, quality sleep, things that we talk about on a regular basis for any injury, especially injury of the brain. Okay? Awesome.
All right.
Sweet. Concussions. And then Antoine, if you'd like to add anything, please do in terms of your experience with concussions and really how have you been helped with chiropractic care in the past when it comes to a concussion?
So my concussion when I first had it was when I was playing football. It kind of went undiagnosed until I got pulled out of the game. So when I was playing in the game, we went into the huddle. They said the play, but as soon as I got up to the line of scrimmage, I forgot the play. I went back to the quarterback twice in a row, asked him what the play was, and just kept forgetting it over and over again to the point where the coach had to call a timeout. He came to me and talked to me, and then at that point is when they found out that I did have the concussion because my memory was jumbled. I was highly irritable just from the fact that I got pulled out of the game. Any athlete wants to stay in that game as long as they can. Mm-hmm. After I got diagnosed with the concussion, they reviewed my baseline testing with me, and it was kind of a mild concussion. From there, I got chiropractic care, which consisted of adjustments, soft tissue, as well as what you said, watching my nutrition. And over, I think it was I had a speedy recovery. It was about 3 weeks. But I definitely did have trouble in class with reading and being able to stay focused due to the violent traumatic injury that I had.
Yeah, it's rough. I've had a couple with lacrosse, and make sure that you communicate with your coaches, with your medical providers that are helping you guys out, that you've had one, and they'll get you on the right pathway to, one, test out of it so that you can get back to your sport of play and that you've recovered well. Take care of the brains, right? So thanks so much for watching. Antoine, thanks for your input. I appreciate you guys. If you have any other comments about our videos or if you'd like to see some things, please post below. And then thank you again for watching. We're so grateful for Special Olympics Maryland for being a part of our series. I hope you athletes are enjoying these videos, and I hope you're staying safe as well. Until next time, thanks again. See you.